Are we just building whatever we want or what the customers want? Here's how we use customer feedback on our PLG roadmap. Hey, it's Gary, 3 times head of growth. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how we incorporate user feedback in our PLG roadmap. So how can we collect user feedback to inform our product-led growth strategy? So we collect user feedback from our Superhuman onboarding calls and our follow-up from our tech touches. When we launched PLG in 2022, we took this superhuman onboarding call approach. So in our 30-minute call, we help customers onboard and get activated. So we would have 5 to 10 calls every day, and we would collect experience feedback from listening, from observing, from asking questions. And this is what I call the PLG Learning Flywheel. Then we translate these feedback into the roadmap. And after the call, we also follow up with our customers. For customers that are likely to upsell, we have a high-touch manual cadence. So we hop on additional calls, then get them activated, and we listen for feedbacks from the buyers and the end users. For customers who are not likely to upsell already, so we automate sending these low-tech touches. So these emails includes reminding the customers to activate. But on the very bottom, we'll say, hey, if there's any issue, reach out to us. And then we also get those types of feedback as well. So we collect these feedback slowly from these non-activated customers. How can we organize user feedback to inform our product-led growth strategy? So we collected all this feedback. How do we organize it? And we did not do a good job here, to be honest. It was a lot of based on sentiments and guts. Our PLG team would communicate to the product team when high likelihood upsell customers have bug and issues, so we got to squash that right away. If there's big advanced product feedback, we'll share it to the core product team. But all of this is done on Slack, and unfortunately, it's so easy to lose track of it. So we also sent feedbacks back to the product board, our roadmap tool, but making sense of all these PLG themes was very difficult. And reflecting back, I thought it was very cumbersome and not effective because we would share huge feedback lists, or we'll share feedbacks as they came in to our team. And that really impacted our credibility. And if I were to do it again, I would review our monthly conversations with our customers from email, chat, calls, support tickets, and organize all of these feedback by segments, likely to upsell customers or not likely to upsell. And then put them together as something I would call the top 3 PLG themes and present this to the product team. And that would be a more strategic way to influence the roadmap and be heard. How do we gain trust with our engineers and designers on this user feedback for our product-led growth strategy? So we would clip gong calls, we'll share emails, we'll share those direct quotes, and we also gather those usage data to back up the feedback that we've been receiving. And some of it is still not convincing enough. What helped tremendously was getting the core product teams, which is whether it's engineers or designers, onto some of these superhuman onboarding calls and letting them observe how users were interacting with the product, letting engineers and designers ask the customer questions and getting these products folks as close to the customers as possible. This helps us establish trust because now the core product team know how the PLG team conduct these user calls and how these feedbacks are coming about. The core product team are now seeing a real human user struggling with the experience. And the core product team is now prioritizing the roadmap because they know users are struggling with this aspect of the product. And all assumptions are out of the door. All what you think it could be are out of the door. Hopping on these calls did wonders for our team and gained this trust because any feedback we receive, engineers and designers, they clearly know what the process looked like. And we're getting past this trust and credibility part and into solving and prioritizing issues. So how do we prioritize these user feedback in the product-led growth strategy? So we establish the trust. And now, how do we think about prioritizing this? So our prioritizing rubric is squashing bugs, prioritizing for likely to upsell customers, and third is this non-bug user experience issues that many customers might face. So first and foremost, we need to squash bugs. By hitting 404, we lose trust with our users, specifically because most of our experience is self-serve. So the networking effect can go really bad as well. I know it's PLG, but the product is just not ready. It's easy to use, but it always crashes. They have a great team, but it's really slow to load. So we have to fix this. Otherwise, our trust erodes from the whole community. We're losing that. Once we can figure that out, then we focus on prioritizing use case for likely to upsell customers. But most of the time, it's really just making sure how do you use the product, the why behind some of these advanced features, and how to quantify the value and ROI. That's really what the buyers and these customers that want to upsell are gonna want to know. Paying customers just want to make sure that they're making the best business decision possible. So we focus on building paywalls, discoverability, and entitlement with the theme of upselling. Finally, any feedback on user experience, we gather those feedback as many as we can and we discuss with our designer. Well, what is the intended user experience? What are the alternative way the user could solve this or could navigate around this? And then with that understanding in mind, we can go back to the customers and we can say, hey, this is how we will use this. This is how we will solve this problem for you, and educating on the customer about the product. We are listening to our customers through calls, emails, chats. We could have been more strategic into how we communicate those feedbacks back to the team, and we could have organized them into a top 3 PLG themes so we can influence the product roadmap better and keep sounding that alarm. Wow, we could still get the engineers and designers in front of the customers, because that humanizes building better products. It making sure customers can self-serve without hitting bugs, and that customers can find paywalls. But listening to our customers, upselling them, it really creates this very powerful PLG feedback loop into our product roadmap and into our product development cycles. Hey, follow me on growthwithgary.com or feel free to subscribe here to learn more about how to execute PLG, lead and operate and launch and be successful in SaaS.